Okay. So, let's see here. Okay, so we finished the Da Vinci Lab. We finished that time zone, so now we're going to do the Aztec one. Aztec one, when I used to play it way back when, I remember being really hard because, I mean, obviously there weren't a whole lot of walkthroughs then because this was back in, I want to say 95 or 96. So it wasn't exactly like you have to look on the internet and just find something easily. You know, things such as wikis and that sort of thing weren't there. Also, it being an adventure game, you sort of had to really think about where this stuff was. Buried in Time sort of had this weird way of putting stuff in certain areas that you would never think to look. Even with, you know, all the hints and stuff, it still was pretty hard to figure out. Aztecs 1, especially because you have to figure out stuff with all these traps that you get put into, and like you have to mess around with the Aztec calendar, I think, in the very first part of it. So I don't know, we'll see here in a second. Let me bring up the save file. Ha! Okay, so let's see what we got here. We need to jump to the Aztecs, which is, I'm probably getting it wrong, it's probably Incan. So, Chichen Itza. No, I was right, close related to the Aztecs. Yeah, that's close. Your mission is to observe the resident cultures and gather information that will lead to a definitive answer to this question. Warning: there will be a human presence to this environment. Gather footage from a safe distance and avoid being seen. Your destination coordinates have been scanned and are cleared. There aren't really people there. There are people at the bottom of the temple that you'll be jumping to, but not really a whole lot of people other than that. So yeah, the outside part of this, the graphics are not great. At least not like how the rest of the game is.
That huge pyramid is the Castillo. It's dedicated to Kukulkan, who was the Mayan equivalent of the Aztec serpent god Quetzalcoatl. The structure behind it is the Temple of the Warriors.
Okay, let's see here.
An interesting thing about El Castillo is that it was built on top of a smaller, older pyramid. In fact, some of the other Mayan pyramids have been built over the previous pyramid as many as 6 times, with the old temple still remaining underneath. I would guess that we're standing on the High Priest's grave pyramid. Historians have theorized that before it was a tomb, it was used for some other ceremonial purpose. That's a chacmul. They were pretty common in Chichen Itza. Generally, if you wanted to be accepted by the gods, you'd place an offering in the chacmul's hands. I've only seen pictures of them facing away from the temple. I wonder why this one's facing inward. That square building over there is the Casa Colorada. Historians believe it was the house of the high priest. That circular building is the Caracol, which means snail. The Maya built it as an astronomical observatory. They'd line up the sun and moon through rectangular slits in its walls to identify important days like the summer and winter solstices. Behind the observatory is the Casa de las Monjas, or nunnery.
So I need to put something, put a bowl or water. I really hope I don't have to go back to the chateau and figure that crap out.
Ah, the pelota field. The Maya played a game which was kind of a cross between basketball and soccer. Without using their hands or feet, they'd have to knock a hard rubber ball through a slightly larger stone hoop as high as 30 feet off the ground. No such thing as sore losers, mainly because the losers were decapitated. Overlooking the ball court is the Temple of the Jaguars, which also function as box seats for the royalty.
Okay. So I need to put something there, I just can't remember what. I think it's like a bowl of water. This is all me trying to remember stuff from, again, like C95 from almost 20 years ago, so yeah, bear with me. Let's see.
This is a little hard to see, but I think it's a depiction of a ceremony. It looks like a priest or supplicant is making an offering to a god.
I don't think the translator chip really does anything, but I'll try it for the hell of it. Activate. Yeah, I didn't think it did anything. Okay, let's go back to Arthur. See, now I can go down that area, but I don't want to do that because it'll be bad, but this is supposed to be a somewhat interesting stream, so I'm going to do it. Let me save, though. Menu, save, save, yes. Okay. Come here. Exit. So now you shall see the funny death of sorts. And here I go. Yes, they build monument with my with my suit, blatantly describing warnings that he was approaching primitive peoples. Agent 5 proceeded into a populated area of Chichen Itza. Upon seeing such a strange being, the natives immediately dropped to their knees in homage to the god that came from the pyramid. Agent 5 decided to stay a while. Yeah. It's pretty funny. Okay, we'll restore the game. Okay. I forgot to mention it before, there is two modes. There's adventure mode and then there's also walkthrough mode, which they did this way before Mass Effect or any of those kind of games popularized this. Essentially, Presso Studios and Sanctuary Woods, who are the people who made the game, helped with it. They made these two modes for people that are really into adventure game stuff and like to figure out stuff on their own, and also for people that maybe can't figure out the puzzles as easily. I mean, that's what the walkthrough mode was, which essentially is like what story mode is for Mass Effect 3, I think. But it's interesting because, I mean, it gave those options, and I haven't seen very many adventure games do it from that far back. I mean, I could be mistaken. I haven't played, you know, every adventure game in the world, or even that many, to be quite frank, but I haven't ever really seen it done with very many other games. I know a lot of people say that it's just sort of making it easy for quote-unquote noobs or whatever, but I mean, honestly, at the end of the day, you just want to enjoy a good game, and sometimes you don't want to have to figure out 20 different puzzles to enjoy the game. People who love adventure games will probably tell you differently, but like I said, at the end of the day, I just want to enjoy the damn game. I don't want to have to figure out like 1,000 different puzzles, which, I mean, some of the stuff isn't even a puzzle. It's like, what was it, last night I was doing the Da Vinci time zone, and like I struggled for almost 2 hours trying to find a damn hammer. Turned out the hammer was in another time zone, but I would have never known that because there was no indication of that without going to the other time zones first. That's the thing, you really have to, with these older adventure games, there's really no way to know where that stuff is. You sort of have to pick it up as you go along. Back in 95 and 96, I mean, the internet was there, but there was no easy walkthrough, I guess. Nothing akin to like Wikias for like Borderlands or Mass Effect or anything like that. So Okay, I'm gonna stop babbling and actually play the damn game. Let's see.
Gage, look at this. This is a representation of one of the 9 trials of the underworld. That's definitely Tezcatlipoca, the Toltec god of war. The legend says that when a person died, their soul would have to travel through 8 levels of the underworld en route to the Deadland. On each one, they'd have to pass a trial given by the god that ruled that level. After passing all of the trials, they'd be allowed into the Deadland, where they spend eternity without joy or suffering.
Eternity without joy or suffering. So it's like going into DMV, I suppose. Well, no, that is a place of suffering. Let's see.
Those are Mayan hieroglyphs. They had a pretty sophisticated pictograph writing system. Unfortunately, my Mayan's a little rusty right now.
Let's see if I can translate this. Huh? The supplicant must prove his worth by passing the trials of the underworld. Okay, this has to do with when you actually get into the temple, I guess, by setting up the calendar, which is inside. We'll see that in a second. I'm just trying to look through all this stuff to make sure I don't miss anything. I'm sure Arthur has something to say. Yes, he does.
I think this relief is depicting a lower priest or supplicant to the priesthood making an offering to the water god. Now, if I'm not mistaken, that symbol represents a cave inside a mountain. The Toltecs believed that the underworld was entered through a cave.
Okay, let's see if... Okay, good, those are there too. Interface? No, interface translate. Yeah. Libations must be made to the lords of the night to gain passage into the realms of the underworld. So, liquor? Let's see. Ah. Okay, there's nothing there. Okay, so I need to go in. Is there anything up there? No. Anything down there? No.
This is a Mayan ceremonial calendar. The larger disc has 20 month names inscribed in it, and the smaller one numbers the days. When they're spun, they make a month-day combination where they meet. If you do the math, that's 260 different combinations, each of which represent a day of the ceremonial year. Historians think that certain days of the ceremonial year were reserved for honoring the gods with human sacrifices, bloodletting, and other fun rainy day activities. Hey, what can you say? I guess the Mayans can be summed up with one simple word: fun.
Okay. I'm gonna have to figure out the correct date to put in there.
This is a list of some sort. I'm not sure what it represents, but each column seems to end with a date.
Okay, I'll have to look them up later.
This looks like an ordainment ceremony. That guy with his head lowered is probably a supplicant to the priesthood who's just passed his rite of initiation. It seems like these scenes are showing ceremonies that take place in this temple. It was destroyed long before anyone had a chance to record any of these murals, so we're the very first ones to see what it might have been used for.
Okay, Is there anything on the bottom? Oh, there's the... I need that.
The blue stuff in the bowl is called palm. It's a kind of incense. The Maya used it as an offering to the gods.
I can't remember whether or not I put that in the altar thing or not.
Considering that the priests are wearing their best jaguar hides, I'd say this scene is depicting a pretty important religious ceremony.
To put, I think, that in there. Okay. I need to translate. Activate. Okay. Homage must be paid to the four lords of the night before the layman is allowed to touch the holy vessel of ordainment. Okay, that's really not much help. The Chakmul grants entrance to the underworld only on sacred days. So this is what I need to change the calendar to below. I need to set it to a sacred day, and then I'll fall into the pit, whatever that is. I think it's like right below me as soon as I set up the correct day. Over here, it'll probably list the sacred days. Goddess of Birth, 8 water, 12 lighting. Goddess of Purification, 1 plant. So I'm gonna assume it's the Goddess of Purification because I don't have anything that would really... Goddess of Purification. One flint. Okay. Tree. No. One death. Yeah, we don't want that. Sun. Dog. Rain. Rabbit. Serpent, deer, flower, water, moon. This is gonna take a while. Plant. Okay, so that I think should work. I want to say I need to put the ceramic bowl there. Aha! Okay, so that worked. That was easier than I thought it was going to be.
I knew that archaeologists found a series of natural caverns underneath this pyramid, but I don't think anyone's ever been able to figure out what they were used for. The Maya believe that the underworld was entered through a cave, so it's a good bet that that's what this place represented to them. Judging from what we've seen, I'd say that this is some sort of proving grounds, probably for supplicants to the priesthood. And considering that their word for the underworld was Sibalba, which literally means place of fright, I'll bet this was no funhouse.
Okay, let's see.
As I recall, the Mayan heavens in the underworld were usually represented as a 13-step pyramid on top of an upside-down 9-step pyramid, with the earth as a flat plane in between. The 13 gods of the heavens rule the daytime, and the 9 gods of the underworld the night. That's why they call them the Lords of the Night. Their heavens were pretty exclusive. Only certain people like sacrifice victims and children were let in. The underworld was for everyone else. Anyone that didn't get into heaven would have to make the journey through the 9 levels of the underworld to the Deadland, which was ruled over by the god of death.
Real cheery people.
That skeleton isn't exactly fresh. They've obviously been using these caverns for a long time. Either that or they left it here for foreshadowing.
Okay, I was gonna say, I remember being able to get, like, the skull.
Well, we're not getting out the way we came in. The opening of that shaft we fell down is at least 4 meters above us. I guess that's the idea. No other way but forward. I just hope there's another way out of here.
Yeah, you pretty much have to go through the trials. Either that or jump out. But we're not going to do that. I remember when I very first started playing this game, especially this portion of it. It seems weird, but I actually got afraid when I was playing it at night. Mind you, I was playing it on a computer that was surrounded by windows, and you know, in a suburban area, and you know, I was prone to getting scared easily, I guess, when I was a kid. Let's see. But the no music and the creepy sounds probably didn't help as far as the Aztec stuff goes. Because, you know, that is creepy. Oh, I keep thinking I'm supposed to be able to take something from here. I guess not. I think I'm getting close to where it starts splitting up everything into the temples. There's a temple over there, there's a temple over there, there's one there, and then there's one there. Yeah. I don't want to go back. Okay, let's see what we got here. Okay. I need to translate that. Activate. Only those who have conquered their demons are welcome in the presence of the god of war. Okay, so I think I want to say the arrow was taken, but I'm not positive. I think more is supposed to be in there. Realm of the War God, make an offering to pass. Yeah, I want to say it's... I gotta put that bloody arrow in there. Switch back to Arthur. Yeah, this I'm totally doing from memory. Let's see. Arrow, arrow. There we go.
You put your offering in this receptacle, the door closes, and it's taken by someone or something to be judged for its worthiness. I don't believe in magic or the powers of the gods, but it may be possible that there are acolytes living in alcoves within these walls, and all they do is collect the offerings and open the doors if they're good enough.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and save it, because I remember the Aztec Temple being like one of the hardest portions of the game. I'm gonna save that there. Yes, I'm sure. that. Go back to Arthur. Okay. Okay. Not great. So somehow I'm supposed to Is there any skulls around here? Let's see. Huh. Okay, maybe I need to go back and take one of those skulls. That way. I need to put that back in there. Okay, but I think the arrows are going to come back if I do that.
Yeah. Those spears look easily sharp enough to tear through your suit, but I wouldn't worry about it. Everybody limbo!
I need like a third skull. I wonder if Go! Crap. I don't know if it's being a pain in the ass. I want to say there's like another skull in here for some reason. But I'm not seeing it. Okay, so go. Go. Ah, damn. While exploring the caverns below Chichen Itza, Agent 5 appears to attempted to pass the Hall of Spirits. He figured out how to stop the spirits, but overlooked an important aspect of the puzzle, how to keep them stopped. The resulting perforations were fatal. Next of kin have been notified. And that is why I save constantly in this game. You can get killed over nothing. That's still open. Oh shit. Okay, that's not good. Do I still have the arrow? Okay, I do not. Okay. Interface. Interface. Okay, let me figure this out. I need another skull, that's all there is to it. Sure. Take his. Crap, go! Yeah! Okay. What the hell is that there? One, two, three. Okay. Okay, this one gets smashed. And I'm dead. Fuck. There has to be... There's something I'm missing. Wait a minute, where's the skull? Why is there no skull? I distinctly remember there being a skull. Let's see. What? Okay, there was a skull there. I did not imagine that. Obviously off, it didn't save correctly. Interface, menu, switched over. Okay. Better. Okay. There's like there was another skull in between one of these like spear things, but I'm not seeing anything.